it's good. Yeah, it's we're serving no swag. This is Adam, and Adam has no show to plug. Have you paid your membership yet, Adam?
Yeah.
All right, Adam's a member.
Right.
Okay, have you been through orientation?
Yes.
Oh, you're ahead of me. Well, I mean, as when 6 o'clock comes, I'm running straight from here, straight into orientation. And so that's another reason that you might want to come on Wednesdays to the tea party, is because on Wednesdays, if you'll come to the tea party, and if you're a member and you haven't been through orientation, as soon as the tea party is over, you can run right into orientation, and you'll already be ready for it, mentally prepared, and what have you. All right. And so anyway, so I can plug the Radio Bistro. Watch it. The David Holt.
The guy's name was Josh something.
Josh, he was good. Okay, you were listening then. I'm bad. I can't remember names.
I don't remember. Was it?
I have a hard time remembering.
I missed it on the outro, and he ran out there.
Corbin?
Josh something.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Anyway, he's really good.
Josh Corbin?
He's really good, and we've had way better than average talent actually on every episode of that.
Ian plays in there too, doesn't he?
Ian plays, and what is the one everybody loves so much?
The Mad Tea Party.
Mad Tea Party was on, but what is the one where he plays all the crazy stuff?
Billy Jonas.
Billy Jonas. Everybody loved Billy Jonas on it. Were some particular favorites. There was the.
What was that guy from the Grand Ole Opry? He played at the Grand Ole Opry, the old guy.
I don't know.
They were all like up about him, and I don't even never heard of him. You know what I'm talking about?
Kind of. I don't know. There's been a lot of guys.
He's kind of chubby and.
Junior Wells.
It's not ringing a bell to me. I must have missed that one. But
he's the one that knows the football player.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
he's good. And then we had Malcolm Holcomb, local.
That was my favorite.
Malcolm was your favorite.
That was really
Malcolm
intense
has a special talent
He was a really intense performance, man. He's really good.
He is, and he shares that. He shares a certain something that I also find in Fred Neal, who's dead now, who was one of the major songwriters and performers. Has anyone here ever heard of Fred Neal? I'm guessing nobody. Nobody's raising a hand. Fred Neal. Okay, Fred Neal, who is a little known name outside of the business, but in the in crowd, Fred Neal is really known as one of the major songwriters and of our time and stuff, and is, for instance, credited with having taught Bob Dylan how to play guitar and stuff like that in the back of the day. So Fred was a very influential person who used to live next door to Margot down in Coconut Grove when I lived down there, and who influenced me. And if I had a guitar right now, I would play a song that Fred taught me, or that I learned by watching him, you know.
Wow.
But he's someone very special, Fred Neal, and that Malcolm has a little of the same feel that Fred has in the delivery. It's an odd thing about both of them.
You should play that song you were playing last night for the next show.
I don't have a guitar. Also, y'all don't know it, but see, I don't play guitar. To begin with, I'm not the guitar player. I don't play guitar,
Well,
and I'm like 20 years out of practice or something. I don't know. You've known me you've known me for a while. Have you ever seen me play a guitar? You never even had a notion I picked one up. No. Huh? Most people who know me now don't even know that. I mean, that's something I pulled out from the closet from so many years ago that nobody knows. I only ever played guitar once in one band years ago. See, I was always the harmonica player. But once in one band years ago, when we could find nobody to play a guitar, I played a few songs, you know. And so we had a guitar in the band for a very short period of time until we could actually find someone who could come in. There, this is Amos, a local mad site. There's a lab coat for you right there if you like.
I can't prepare.
Best we can do at the moment. And
I've been eating my own lab coat for some time now.
yeah.
I guess to take Jonathan's.
Okay, is that a clean cup? Because we have clean ones.
Yeah, that's a clean one.
Okay, pour him a cup of tea there, if you will.
Well, thank you so much. You've been burning burning some toast here as well?
No, it's not. We were roasting coffee beans right here. We've had an expose on how to not only have freshly ground beans, are more flavorful, but if you will buy your beans as green beans, roast them yourself, and then grind them, that they're even more flavorful.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's easy to do. You know how you roast them in a popcorn popper, in an air popcorn popper. And they crack and they make all these noises and all that lets you know how they're doing, and it's a whole thing. But they do smoke.
Did that happen earlier?
Make Magazine had
Did that
this.
happen earlier?
We did,
So
yeah,
we
right here.
missed-
We had
I
a
missed the.
Yeah.
I missed everything.
right.
This is
And
why
do
you need
you
to
need
show up
any
earlier.
sweeteners or a splash of cream or anything?
Last hour is the best
just
hour.
as is.
All right. Well, give us a little taste there, and give us a critique on your tea. See how it will do. Let me have a shot of that tea, if you would, from the big one. Would you pour me?
Man, I'll tell you, you're gonna have to move the show from like 5 to 7 or something.
From 5 to
Because
7.
people like always show up like you got like 20 minutes left and you got like a packed house.
I know.
It's just starting first hour. It was
Here,
just
That
play with
seems
the
to be
train.
the running rule.
Amos,
Yeah.
if you would turn to the camera, introduce yourself, Dr. Amos, here, and tell some. Pour me a little. Is there a lot more left, or are we
There was,
Are we running low?
Just a little bit.
I'm just
Oh,
thinking-
we're running low. Okay, so we need to make another pot.
I don't know if we're gonna have that time.
How much we got time?
You got about 30 minutes, 35 minutes?
Well, 30 minutes is enough. We got
20 minutes.
19 minutes.
Yeah.
Well,
Scientifically correct.
well, we quit making it because we didn't know if we'd have any guests.
Yeah.
It had dropped down.
We still have a little bit of really strong coffee.
That's some
too.
good. This is some of that serious coffee.
Roasted live
Yeah,
on
that.
premises.
No, it wasn't roasted live.
Actually, it
but-
was roasted just before.
Yeah.
It was
But
roasted today, I
that-
think.
You want to cling to the ceiling? Drink that.
Well.
We'll stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Did you get to taste that tea?
This tea, yes, I was still formulating a critique.
Okay.
You want to
It
polish
has
that off?
a summery aroma of
Just a
grasses
little bit
and
left.
flowers.
Yeah,
Delicate
I guess so.
flavor
I know.
of it.
I'll go get more
Oh,
water.
you got a big pot or a big cup.
Ooh, that's
A
plenty.
bit pedestrian, but nonetheless a satisfying.
A
cup
bit
of tea.
pedestrian. Well, you have quite a palate there. No, that'd be very accurate.
This tea is not challenging to the connoisseur.
You're attached.
Attached.
Not challenging to the connoisseur, huh? A bit pedestrian.
And our host left.
Yeah.
Now,
All right,
what
I'm
are we
gonna
talking
try
about?
It's loud, isn't it?
Yeah, these things are loud. A little louder than I like. Dr. John seems to be able to handle them, but I prefer my volume turned down a little bit.
So what has been the order of the day here?
Um,
Mad Science Tea Party.
We were talking about the Green Radio Bistro.
Yeah, we started out, we got a little lesson in how to roast the coffee beans from Devine, who had to leave, and we've just been talking about various shows. Do you have a show to talk about?
A show that
Yeah,
I
are you producing a
upcoming
show
show.
here
I
on
don't believe you
URTV?
remember. Are you a member?
I don't believe I
I don't
am.
believe he's a member of URTV.
recently had my music on Cyberpunk Radio in San Francisco, which is very exciting.
He's a noted mad scientist that's been invited. All members are invited, but also noted mad scientists are.
From the larger community, as it were.
So he's a noted mad scientist. That's all right. I'm gonna hook you up with something a little less pedestrian, if you will.
Oh my, certainly.
Do we have where did the things go that are in here?
Oh, those?
Oh, I put those back in the box because they were cracked.
Point to them. Is it this box?
I believe it's that one now, yes. It was over there, but it should be open. Yep, there it is.
Aha. Okay. Yeah, we'll give you a little.
What have we here?
Mad Scientist tea pellets.
Oh, wow.
I'll open it up and give you a little. It's that.
Oh.
And they.
Oh, wow, that's the good stuff. Gold seal.
So that's gonna go in here.
Just show the
Okay.
camera.
Well, I showed him.
Oh.
And
They don't need to know.
and I'll. Well, I guess I can just do it. My plan is just to add it to the one that's in there already.
It's specialty.
Specialty.
It's a little less pedestrian.
Specialty.
It makes
It's
it
a
kinda
black
cuckoo.
tea. It's a black tea, a dark black tea.
Oh, great.
Oh, let's
And,
call Raven in here.
yeah, this is the stuff that Raven likes. This
Come
is
on,
Raven here?
Raven.
Oh, I'm doing a pellet for right now.
Oh,
One of those.
wow, look at that.
So you're just in time. But
Tipped you off that I was heading this way.
I did it for Amos over here. I was because he called my last tea a bit pedestrian. So, pedestrian, yes. So I thought I would try to hook him up with something a little less pedestrian. Give that to him so he can look at the paper. And I'm sitting on my headphones. Please pull up a chair and and if you can, I'm squeaking. I need to turn this
Video. Wow.
Yes.
video.
And by all means, shamelessly pitch your show.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know when it airs.
Okay.
And you want to talk about audio and things like that? Amos here has just come directly from his workbench at Moog Music, where he works with little transistors and chips and resistors and things to make analog sound making things.
Absolutely, synthesizers and effects.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it's still mostly big chunky through-hole parts that are easy to test and probe and swap and work with.
Right.
Not a whole lot of surface mount so far.
Yeah.
But
Moog makes
it's coming.
exciting gear. I've always wanted something by Moog.
Mhm.
What would be the entry level?
Well, one good works with absolutely everything piece of kit would be the low-pass filter. It's basically like a mini Moog style Moog analog low-pass filter, and you can run anything through it, and it also has an envelope follower, which means that you can have it sweeping the filter based on how loud the input signal is, following the dynamic of what you're playing, which gives you sort of an auto wah effect. And if you do any kind of field recording or you record any live instruments, like acoustic instruments sound really cool through a resonant low-pass filter where the frequency is being swept, because you get this great synthy, whooshing kind of trippy sounding stuff going on. And whereas with a synthesizer, you kind of expect that to be happening. It sounds nice with a synth, but it sounds like revolutionary with other instruments.
Analog things,
Yeah.
complex waveforms.
Complex waveforms,
Do you-
exactly.
Is that the least expensive?
It is, I believe, the least
box?
expensive. The next least expensive that is the most like mad science potential is the ring modulator.
It is. Ring modulator
It is
is a
pure
highly
mad
recommended thing. Not considered by many people not to be very musical and to be a very difficult item to use.
Which it can be, but it can also, you can use it very subtly, and you can also, if pitched harmonious musical sound isn't what you're going for,
It's
then
fine.
it's, the sky's the limit. It works great for background textures and like Dalek voices, and how the hell do they do that kind of sounds?
Right.
Plus,
Love me some Dalek voices.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the new BBC Doctor Who production uses a Moog Foger ring modulator for their
Do
Dalek
they?
voices. This is
Nice.
literally the real Dalek voices, as it were.
Nice.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about it is it has a carrier input as well, and so with a normal ring modulator, you've got some sort of oscillator that you're modulating your signal by.
Right,
But
but
with
you
this,
can-
it's a true balanced modulator. You can take any
Any other
source and any
source.
carrier, any two things, and throw them together in the ring modulator and get modulated chaos coming out.
Now settle this dispute. Is it Moog or Moog?
It is Moog.
Moog,
It is
okay.
very definitely Moog, although
The Mooger Fooger would be Moog.
It's Moog or Foger.
Mooger. Okay.
Yeah,
You say it fast, you understand. It's Moog.
Yeah. yeah.
Although
Doctor-
in Japan, it's apparently Moga Foga. I
I've
have it on Bob's own authority.
I've heard Dr.
It's-
Moog.
It's them calling
That's
things,
probably-
giving us their secrets.
That's probably Dr. George Pond, actually. No, it's from the UK.
UK?
It is from the UK.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It says 01144, which is the
What's
UK.
the sign for
It's
And the
some-
message is me on this number.
Okay, and you don't know who me is.
Very interesting.
Me.
Well, I can only reply since some strange person. It was wonderful. I got prank called from the Solomon Islands or something at one point, and it was like this little I envisioned this hut full of incredibly entertained like fisher folk or something. I had it on speakerphone. There were like 5 or 6 people laughing uproariously and talking in some language that I couldn't understand. When I'd say something in my goofy American accent, they'd all just bust out laughing and hooting and hollering, and then they'd hang up, and like a couple minutes later they'd call back again. and you know, there'd be this like expectant silence on the line, and I'd say hello, and they'd go, oh. It was hilarious. They didn't get tired of it for quite a while.
How'd they get your number?
Prank calling America, I don't know.
Do you give your number out to some of the Moog?
A few people. I don't intend to, but sometimes it happens. Like if
Right.
someone like
I thought so, because you do special
yeah, like
things.
the
for
music
people.
director for Destiny's Child or something off the wall like that called at some odd hour and had this question that they really were going to need me to answer in another couple hours when it was a totally inconvenient time. And I gave him my number, and he's called me just like randomly at 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday or something.
Like if Edgar Winter calls you and says,
Right. It's okay.
really
Edgar
need
have my
one,
number."
really need one of those voices back from Frankenstein.
Right, I've got him on file.
Yeah.
All of his programs for Frankenstein
Yeah.
live on my computer.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to do Frankenstein just like Edgar Winter, we've got the actual voices that Edgar programmed.
On the Voyager that he got on like,
borrowed.
try that he borrowed and then re-recorded Frankenstein and gave back.
And then gave it back. He just borrowed it and used it in the studio and then gave it back, saying, let me check a new one out, see if I need to buy a new synthesizer. And then recorded his album and said, I don't think I need this anymore.
So you do your own music as well?
I do. I'm in a cyberpunk industrial band called the Veterans of Future Wars, who apparently have been getting some airtime on URTV.
Right, which can be seen on my other show, Anarchy TV, at 11 o'clock
And
on.
have you heard of Veterans
Fridays.
of Future Wars?
No, I have not. I have not heard.
Okay, well,
Veterans of Future Wars.
we
Very
have
good show.
we've been around since about '96 or so in one form or another. Took a few
Oh.
years off.
Yeah.
But they're very underground. There's not everybody, just only the inside of the in crowd even know of their existence. Time travelers and mad scientists.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of trying to break into the mainstream of the underground at this point, which is an interesting endeavor. Like we have stickers and a MySpace page, which is a big step up, and that's myspace.com/futurewars. If
You
you're
can
interested.
be on a
Stickers?
future
Stickers,
episode of
well,
Mount
professionally
Vernon.
printed vinyl stickers that say
Alright.
Cyberpunk's not
Music
dead.
show.
You know, I'm thinking that when
tape
you release a
costs only
CD,
$1.
everybody can, you know, copy it and all that.
Do I see an
So, if you just
upcoming
sell dollar
episode?
stickers.
Perhaps.
I highly
Nobody-
Nobody's gonna pirate your sticker.
Okay.
It costs not as much as it
Right,
costs
it's
to
like,
you.
oh, $1 for
they're
this
very
band. I like
strange.
it.
Yeah.
We won't pay for the CD.
We like
we'll
it.
buy stickers.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
And
I want to do like some T-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that.
We're getting
that
a
fewer
group
people
called
will buy, but
Starbelly,
still,
the
you know,
Starbelly.
again, you're not going to pirate a T-shirt
In
because it'll cost the same as
July,
buying a shirt.
Right.
Are we into July already?
Already in July.
Wow.
We do have a couple days in
And-
June, but I'm
Amos is as one of the contributors to the Shape Static project as well.
That's true. One of the originators, although I have been less involved recently.
Shape- Right.
I don't know.
Still keeping
Maybe,
the
you know.
Shape Static dream alive
I
and
think
some more ideas that I haven't
as long
even
as you don't
explored.
mind
We
a
were
lower
talking about
quality.
acoustic shaping of static, like running it out into physical structures with different resonant properties and so forth, and then re-recording. I don't think we've tried that much yet. You know, piping some static into one of those whirly tube devices, or you know, through homemade spring reverbs and so forth, seeing what kind of effect you got out of that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Shape Static.
Shape
It's
Static.
it's the next thing.
Explain Shape Static.
Shape Static. I've got a new vision on Shape Static that's coming together.
Oh, really?
And it's sort of the marriage of industrial. It's where industrial finds its ultimate sellout point. and what that is it is like so much other techno and all, just more computer generated music for the masses and what have you. Although it has Shape Static tends to have a large analog component and all, but with its marriage with trance and industrial, the Shape Static project now brings industrial into its own, you know, what is it when a caterpillar comes out and becomes a butterfly, you know, it's like
Metamorphosis.
it's metamorphosis into its final being, which is a very, to some degree, computer generated music for the masses that serves to for the industrial worker. This is music that will make people who have mindless tasks to do repetitively all day long do them quicker and be happier about it as they do it, and we've experimented with this with Dr. Kelly Kevlar, Dr. Kevlar, and I have been experimenting with this, and it's unbelievable, and the marketability of it to the corporate structures that be to use this on their employees, as you will, is we can
They like the term associates now.
yes, well, we can actually
Japan.
we can actually boost productivity in sweatshops, if you will. You know what I'm saying? You know, what is it? Most assembly line and stuff like that. We can we
Labor
shape
saving technology of the future.
shape static, and at the same time, the listener can also enter into the trance and delve into his spiritual consciousness and all
While making widgets.
while being productive.
While in a sweatshop. Third world.
So-
That's really interesting.
That's right.
Can I have some tea?
Oh, please. So it's well, you want to wait for this right
Oh,
here,
I
don't
wanna
you?
wait for that.
We're waiting for water to boil.
Yeah.
I see.
It's
It's really strong coffee if you'd rather have polished that off. Okay.
it's the water's grumbling.
How do we get a sample of this music? It sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's very worthy coffee.
Would it be,
Right.
would there be
Oh, wow,
lyrics?
It's almost like top secret, and
Right.
almost right now. You can get some samplings probably.
There may be some samples. I think that lyrics in the traditional poetic sense probably would not be appropriate.
No.
But like certain encoded words of affirmation
That's
in a
true.
mantra-like fashion.
I think
Yeah.
it would be
Would
very
haiku work?
successful.
Haiku could work. Yeah.
If I mean, we're talking for the masses here. I think everything should rhyme with the word ooh.
With the word ooh.
Ooh.
Haiku.
W-E. Yeah. You. I love you. What would we do? You love me too.
Well, that leaves out like
Love me
Moon and
blue.
June and Spoon.
Is that I was gonna say it's like Moon in June.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I guess this is just even the condensing that down to its essence, just the ooh.
Because we
you
don't
see
want to
why I had to
distract
pick
people.
up the microphone now?
Mhm.
It
Oh,
was,
absolutely.
this was
It's
for
crucial.
this project.
We don't want to distract people while they're working. We want something that they can sing without even realizing they're singing.
Would you like to
Watch what you do when you're making that.
A shoe.
would you like to listen in and see
Don't need to go
what's
to
going on?
I think I can hear what's going on.
I know. Here, no, what's going out? Here,
Oh,
pass that
okay.
over to
Yeah.
It's pretty
Stick
loud.
that in your
Amos.
Mooger
Yeah.
and smoke it.
all right now y'all talk around that.
I see.
Okay, so here we are just talking. You know, we need to get a sample of your music, some type, or tell us where we can go online.
It
All
might be
right.
All right, brought it with
This
you.
is a prepared man. We respect that.
Unfortunately,
Because
don't
we have a music show.
MySpace.
Yeah, they're ready for you. Oh no, put that back on so you can
yes.
so you can
So
hear
I can
hear
enjoy
that.
it.
I want and see I just lean in and I have
There you go.
you know
And
the
this
deal.
is not the tube mic.
Master
this is
controller.
the-
Oh yeah, the central scrutinizer.
That's right. So yes, if you have a music show, I would certainly be happy to contribute. I can
Mon
go-
Dungeon, Thursdays, 11 p.m. on this station. Would you be able to come into the studio on a Saturday between 1 and 4?
Well, typically we actually have band practice on Saturdays. We usually try to start around 2, which means we actually get our act together closer to 4. But in fact, we could sort
Make a
of
push.
yeah, we could certainly come down here
Push
as
the
a part of
time.
that, as a collective, as a group, and invade your show if you would be open to such an
sure.
action.
And we're quite used to it,
All
actually.
right, outstanding.
We have bands invade our show every week.
For their particular thing though, see if you can reserve a little extra time, particularly in advance for setup, and expect technical difficulties.
That's right.
We
That's
always
right.
expect technical
That's
difficulties.
Technical
With us, that
difficulties.
is nothing less than a motto.
as part as more.
I've seen your shows.
Okay.
See, that's why the
Oh,
kind
or
of
were
sucks
you
you
just
can't have
stopping
a
because your hand
studio
was burning?
with extra time.
So were you at the
Well,
the Jolie Rouge show where we were
we
supposed
would
to start
not
at
be
11 and
able
finally started
to-
playing at about 1:30? Yeah.
All right,
I think we've got 30
We
also
would
the
not
one
be
at,
able to
30
fit them in
seconds
until
show at
sometime in
Greenhouse.
June.
Oh yeah.
Actually, we got about
5:59.
1 minute.
1 minute.
We got 1 minute.
All
How
right,
can we
remember,
wrap this
up?
this is your public access tea party. Come join the tea party. We'll do it again tomorrow. and we might keep doing it today. We have a pot of tea that's just starting to brew.
Where's Melanie?
She was not able to make it due to all sorts of extenuating circumstances. I know everybody was looking forward to her dissertation on erotic hypnosis. Hopefully next week. Sorry, Aggie.
We waited already a week. Can't we
I
have it
came all
tomorrow?
the way from Old Fort for this.
For erotic hypnosis. I know we were promised, and
Well.
you know.